If you want to create a breakthrough in any area of your life, stay tuned because we're going to look at a technique that will supercharge your breakthrough. Soraya here from Love Vegan Living, and today's video is all about breakthroughs and how to create breakthrough in your life. So no matter what zone of your life you're looking for this breakthrough, these techniques will help you achieve it. Before we go on, click the like button below, and if you like the contents of the video, I would love it if you subscribe to the channel. So what is a breakthrough? So we're talking about personal breakthroughs, and personal breakthroughs are basically when we have a challenge that we want to get through and we manage to go through that challenge and come out the other side happy, fulfilled, with some learning and achievement, which propels us forward to the next breakthrough. If you've had major breakthroughs in your life, you'll know that they're built on lots of minor breakthroughs. So it's those small breakthroughs that collectively create the mountain, which gives us the results that we're looking for. There are so many different types of breakthroughs. For example, you may want to get rid of something from your life that you're not happy with, or you may want to include something new into your life. Or perhaps you're happy with your life, but you don't feel fulfilled and you don't know why. So you want to find a new level of satisfaction or joy or fulfillment, or more interaction with social situations. Breakthroughs can be anything. It may be that you have a difficult situation and you can't find joy within that set of circumstances. All these things are similar. We can apply the same techniques to achieve these breakthroughs. So can you have a breakthrough without happiness? If somebody offered you a really super salary, but in return you would feel miserable every day, would you accept it? I don't think so. I wouldn't. I definitely wouldn't. So assuming you're the same, we then add another requirement to a breakthrough. A breakthrough actually means being happy, some form of happiness within the breakthrough. It should be a positive experience. It should come with some positive results. We're not going to go craving breakthroughs if they are just purely negative development. We are actually talking personally fulfilling breakthroughs, so there is happiness involved. So you could say that a breakthrough is a form of happiness while getting results. You take the physical success of getting through the challenge and you marry that with happiness or joy, satisfaction, fulfillment, and you have breakthrough. But if this is true, if breakthrough requires happiness, what is happiness? Because you can't always be smiling and, oh, what a lovely life when you're in your breakthrough. So what is happiness? So then what is happiness? Well, happiness can be this small to this big, to beyond the universe. Happiness is a feeling we get inside. It might be a relief, like just that our pressure's been taken away from us. It might be expanding, I like that, like, oh, I love that, right up to off the scales ecstasy. Happiness is all of them. The problem is most of us attach our happiness to external things. So we receive something which gives us a happiness boost, and then it peaks and then it begins to wane. And how many times is it in your life have you ever had something happy happen and that happiness remains forever? Yeah, sure, you might have a lovely happy memory of something, but while it's attached to the external thing, there will be the moment of peaking and then the moment of waning. And there's also the law of diminishing returns, which says that it takes an increasing amount of external stimuli to create the same amount of emotional response. So if you were to receive your joyful dream every single day of your life, each day of your life, that response from your emotional happiness would be a little bit less. It would take more stimulus, more of the event to create the same amount of happiness. So it's easy to see that while we go ourselves this plan of approach towards happiness, it's very tentative. It's like it's going to go up and down, up and down, up and down, and that's going to be the way it is. So what is it that our happiness depends on? Is it money? Is it possible to be really rich and unhappy? What about not just unhappy? What about really rich and living a miserable life? It's also possible. And then what about relationships? Perfect relationship but miserable in your life? Also possible. It's not one factor that's going to dictate our happiness. As long as we attach our happiness to external things, it's not going to be one thing that dictates our happiness. But in truth, it is one thing that dictates our happiness. And that is the story we tell ourselves in our head. We all live in a story. We live in a perpetual story, and that story is what we're listening to. And as we listen to that story, subconsciously or consciously, or both, that is determining our emotions. And our emotions are creating our reality. Because when you are in a sad state, you're going to make different decisions than when you're in a happy state. When you're in a happy state, you're going to make different decisions than when you're curious, or when you're excited, or when you're passionate. All the different emotions are going to create a different response from your decisions and your actions, which are going to create a different result. So it all comes back to what's going on in here. And what's going on in here is within our control. As soon as we wake up to this, it gives us back the power. We have the remote control within us. We have the remote control within us to control what story we're listening to or not listening to. If we're seeking a breakthrough in our life, what most of us will do is sit down and create a strategy. But the most important part before creating the strategy is to pay attention to what story we're listening to. Because when you're listening to a story that's full of, I'm not good enough, oh, I've failed so many times, what will people say, what will people think? As we listen to that story, so we diminish our ability to make the decisions that we need to make to create that breakthrough. So the first step in making your strategy plan is not making the strategy plan. The first step is paying attention to the story that you're hearing, the story that's going on in your head. Most of us are unaware of this story. And the first step is to become aware of it. Once you're aware of it, great, you got it. You got it, you're on the way. You're starting your exciting adventure of power and taking back the control, getting out the remote control, playing with life, creating the life you want. Because the same decision made with different energy will create a different result. The same action done with different energy will create a different result. What is going on behind in the programming is what is creating the success or the direction or the intensity or the power of the decision, of the plan. So, next thing to do, number 2, is to break the story. First of all, become totally present in the now. That means escaping the story. That means stopping the story. How do you stop the story? Well, first of all, start by asking lots of questions. Ask yourself questions all about the story. What if it were true? What's the worst case scenario? Does it really matter? Is it important if that was true? What if I'm not the perfect one to be doing this? What if people don't watch? Does it matter? Is it going to hurt me? Ask all these brainstorming questions that you can around your negative limiting belief story to expose it. That's the only objective, so that you actually investigate it and get to see it in its reality, to get to see what it really is representing. Don't look for any results from that, just do it. And then once you've done that, ground yourself and move on to breathing. So do at least 10. Breathe in through the nose, starting from the stomach, chest, into the lungs, and then breathe out as though breathing through a straw, and do that 10 times. 10 is nothing. That's just a number, random number to start with. You can do as many as necessary. This will reset your nervous system and tell your body that you are standing in peace, that you are in a peaceful mode, that everything is good and everything is fine. So if you haven't done that before, give it a try. And the third way to interrupt yourself is to be conscious of the way, for example, your feet touching the floor, the touch of your fingertips, the air on your face, your breath going through your nostrils. Be really aware of every kind of touch that you have going on at this moment in time, and still the mind and clear it. Because when you make a decision for a breakthrough, when you make your plan, when you go forwards for that breakthrough, if it's coming from clean thinking, from a clean place, you're gonna get it. You're gonna get it. So this is really all about being aware of the state that we are in, because the story represents our state. Think about the decisions you would make or the actions you would take if you were feeling down or depressed or sad or angry, and think how different those actions would be if you're feeling joyful or excited or loving. These are states, and we allow them to be driven by external events. But what we want to do is take back the control so that we decide in every moment of time. We strive for every moment. You won't reach every moment. We want to take back control so that we're deciding, so that we're choosing what state we are in. This reaches everything. It will improve your work, your income, your relationships, your joy, your gratitude, everything. Right across the board, it improves everything by being aware of the state that you are in and the story that you are listening to. So one thing, when next time somebody is rude to you or says something that irritates you, ask yourself, is this person worthy of having control over my feelings? Do I want to give this person that power? And if the answer is no, interrupt yourself. Interrupt your thoughts. Oh, he's so annoying and it's so awful. How could he do that to me? Interrupt yourself. Ask yourself, let's say 3 questions. Well, why is this happening? What would I be feeling like if it wasn't happening? What's the worst case scenario? And then go into breathing. And then when you've done your breathing, be aware of the contact with the earth, ground yourself, and come back to the place of peace. And recognize how you can shift your emotional being back to a place of peace. And that way you can think, I'm deciding. I still hear the problem. I will deal with the problem. But I don't need to get emotionally tangled about this and wreck the rest of my day and make bad decisions for the rest of the day because this person has randomly come out and upset me. We give away our power in queues, in traffic jams, to people we know, over small, silly incidents, so many situations. But coming back to breakthroughs, when you apply this to breakthroughs, you're really sitting down and making your decisions from a clean space, positive heart thinking and connected thinking. You're not allowing the emotions to come in and sabotage. So there you go, there you have it. 3 techniques that you can use to superpower your breakthrough. When you start doing this and you begin to claim independence from the stuff that life throws at us, then you have breakthroughs no matter what. It's impossible not to. Life will always throw us a curveball. That's part of life. That's what life is. So we're always going to be having challenges. If we allow ourselves to go up and down and up and down and up and down with those events as they roll in, then nothing's going to change. Start listening to your inner speak. Start being aware of what stories you're telling to yourself, because those stories are the creation of your emotions, and those emotions are the creation of your actions, and those actions are the creation of your reality. Yes! And I just want to add, it's a continual journey. This journey of self-awareness and of watching what you're thinking and what you're telling yourself, and is it positive and is it supportive and is it helping you? Is it taking you in the direction you want to go? What is it that you're telling yourself in your programming, your software? Check your software and update it. Keep updating it. It's so incredible. So there you have it, how to supercharge your transformations and breakthroughs by using this head-heart approach. Get present. Be aware of the story. Interrupt the story. Ask yourself questions. Do deep breathing. Ground yourself. And then from a clear head and a clean thinking space, make a plan of action. And take action. I know that you will have success with this. So please go and try it and start becoming aware of your inner speak and the stories you're telling, and make sure that when you want to make transformation, you go and create it from a clean thinking space. Namaste. Thank you for watching the video. I would really appreciate it if you like this content that you click the subscribe button below. Thank you so much for watching. Namaste.